Mr. Chairman, I'm proud to offer this amendment to support Cyprus on behalf of Representative Titus. As you heard previously, we extend our deepest sympathies to her and her family on the recent loss of her mother. There are many ongoing conflicts in the Eastern Mediterranean. To ensure increased stability, the United States must deepen our ties with like-minded partners in the region, partners like the Republic of Cyprus. Cyprus has demonstrated a willingness to partner on counterterrorism efforts, energy security, emergency preparedness, and regional interconnectivity. The state-of-the-art Cyprus Center for Land, Open Seas, and Port Security, also known as Cyclops, supports mutual training on customs and export control, maritime, and cyber security. Our 3+1 partnership with Cyprus, Greece, and Israel promotes our shared commitments to collaborate on shared energy, counterterrorism, and emergency preparedness issues. Cyprus has demonstrated its capacity to be a partner in a difficult region, and Cypriots have done so in the face of significant challenges, none more palpable than the division of the island after Turkey's invasion in 1974. To this day, the Republic of Cyprus only has effective control over about 2/3 of the island. Greek Cypriots are frequently blocked from visiting their ancestral homes in northern occupied areas, unable to locate many family members' remains that were lost as a result of the invasion, and they're subjected to Turkey's continuous militarization of the island. The continued division of Cyprus weighs heavily on Cypriots, both in Cyprus and in the diaspora here in the United States, many of whom I proudly represent in Rhode Island. That's why we must clearly define the policy Secretary Rubio must pursue for Cyprus. This amendment directs the Secretary to advance regional stability and deliver real progress towards reunifying Cyprus as a federated island comprising 2 self-governing areas for both Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot. This amendment specifically directs the Secretary to support the rights of Greek Cypriots to freely visit their ancestral homes in the occupied North, facilitate bilateral and multilateral engagements toward reunification, urge Turkey's military drawdown in the occupied North, and support efforts to recover those who remain missing following Turkey's 1974 invasion. For far too long, Cypriot families have been kept apart by stalled negotiations. Setting clear objectives and giving our diplomats the tools needed, as this amendment does, will enable our country to stand firmly and support this peace process. I'm proud to support Cyprus along Representative Titus and urge my colleagues to support this amendment. I yield back my time.
Representative yields back. Do any other members seek recognition? Being no further discussion, the question now occurs on the amendment offered by Representative Amo for Representative Titus. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk. Amendment number,
Clerk shall report and distribute.
number 49.
Amendment 49 to H.R. 5300.
Without objection, further reading of the amendment is dispensed with. Representative is recognized for 5 minutes.
I am proud to offer my amendment to prevent DOJ, President Trump, and Secretary Rubio from repeatedly wasting taxpayer dollars with our foreign aid. Under the guise of rooting out waste and abuse, President Trump and his cronies have illegally stopped our foreign assistance programs. Freezing funds to our foreign aid also stops the distribution of this aid. Republicans literally left food rotting at ports and medicine expiring on shelves, even though this waste was clear to everybody. They didn't change course. In February, almost $500 million in taxpayer paid for food aid was left rotting at our ports. In May, more than 60,000 tons of food, enough to feed 3.5 million people for a month, was stuck in warehouses, including at the Adesia Nutrition warehouses in my home state of Rhode Island. And in July, we found out that the State Department incinerated 500 tons of food paid for by taxpayers because they waited too long to distribute it. Let me be very clear. They chose to light it on fire instead of helping starving people around the world. I think that's cruel. I think it's callous. I think it's cold-hearted, and it's not very smart. It wasn't just the food aid. Medical aid is currently at risk of expiring without use. President Trump plans on destroying nearly $9.7 million of contraceptives that have already been paid for, instead of selling it to aid organizations that offered to buy these products. What type of art of the deal is that for the American taxpayer? Again, this aid is already paid for by Americans. It should be saving lives, not left to expire or intentionally be destroyed. Whether it is happening because of incompetence or if it's intentional, it is clear that there is no plan. Before USAID was illegally closed, there was clear guidance on how to efficiently and effectively handle leftover supplies at the end of a contract. My simple amendment would prevent waste. It requires the State Department to establish guidance on handling unused supplies after a contract ends. It would prioritize aid to not be diverted, destroyed, or allowed to expire. This would provide clarity to our foreign assistance partners and our State Department employees in charge of these programs. It ensures our aid helps people we intended to save, not waste away in warehouses or on shelves beyond the reach of those who need them. If my Republican colleagues are serious about preventing waste and abuse, this should be a very, very easy vote. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back.